So it's your friendly neighborhood Redrix back again with a YouTube video. Holy crap, he said a couple weeks ago he wasn't going to upload Destiny 2 content for a while and he was going to go focus on his film channel. Well, yes, I did do some stuff on my film channel, which I do recommend that you guys go check out if you love Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Just go check it out. It's going to be pretty cool. But anyhow, I missed you guys. I missed all seeing your faces, all your comments, all that type of stuff. And I felt bad because, again, I don't want this channel to go to waste. And I want to do some more stuff on it. And even though I've missed a lot with Destiny, there's still some stuff I want to talk about because we're in a very interesting spot right now. I've been hearing a lot of the criticism, been researching on a lot of the things and aspects of Edge of Fate. And I want to talk about it because it's very interesting to me, and I was hoping that a Star Wars themed expansion could maybe solve some of the issues that's going on. Because get it, Destiny is not going to be the game that's going to be able to satisfy everybody. I understand that, and I'm not going to take one person's voice and say that's the entire community. I also understand that, but I will say that there is criticisms, there is flaws, there's some pros, but there is flaws. The game is very different than it used to be. I was so into Destiny from the start with the Taken King, and I have to say, since going in and logging in for the first time in Destiny 2, it is not the same game anymore, and that's both a pro and a con to me, as I'm a very much more casual player now, and I just want to know what's going to be going on for the future of the game. Now, if you praise this expansion or criticize it on a certain point that I don't name, then please let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this expansion. I want to get a discussion going, but keep it civil. Don't go crazy or go yelling at other people. Just keep it chill, right? Let's make a supportive community. I understand if the game is going through a shithole, but let's keep it chill. I will have to say some of the criticisms I've seen is how much you're paying for this expansion and how much you're getting out of it in terms of the delivery of that content, the replayability, the power leveling grind, the weapon tiers, the huge quality of life change with the portal, how other activities that may be considered irrelevant are playing out, how the game just feels like not the same game anymore, and that we're on the 8th year of playing it. There's a lot of criticisms and there's a lot of praises because you could be a person who likes the portal, you could be a person who liked the content you got in Edge of Fate and liked the campaign and liked the day one raid experience. If you liked it, then that's pretty good. But what I've seen is that the majority of the people did say that the day one raid experience was not an experience they were actually hoping for, and that the raid definitely changed sort of a lot of people's opinions on it, given that it was more of a DPS check on every single encounter. But again, that's just me as a person who played all the day one raids. I understand that it definitely is one of those things where you gotta be one of those guys that has to just take the L in those certain raids, because that's just how the way the world works. It is way too expensive for what you're getting, as Final Shape was $40 and this was also $40, the standard edition. And I understand that you're getting only half of what you purchased if you bought the Year of Prophecy or the $80 pack, which does include Renegades, which comes out in December. You're still paying for an expansion. Like, you're expected to get something maybe similar to what, you know, Witch Queen or Beyond Light is, even though I get those were major sized expansions. Bungie has put out over tons of dev streams and has said online over and over again that this expansion is supposed to be on the level of Rise of Iron, or trying to get to the size of Rise of Iron, which is a big sizable expansion. I wouldn't say it's big on certainly changing the game from top to bottom, probably like Forsaken or Taken King did, and given that both of these expansions did not provide us with a brand new subclass, I understand those sort of ideas of what the expansion was trying to go for. But I have to say, for what you're getting, I've been hearing that this expansion has a very interesting sort of campaign that, again, we can talk about, but I don't really think the story elements to this video is going to be the big factor here, because I feel like the story that I've seen are actually a pretty interesting story. Again, it does suffer from some flaws given that it's just the first story and it doesn't give us all the answers and it's the beginning of a new era. I have seen people talk about and praise it. The only problem I've seen is that people are sort of not liking the Matter Spark and Destination abilities because it changes how the players play and it go around each area in the campaign, and people who just like shooting might not really like that. So there is some things there, but the expansion again is meant to be experimenting with a lot lot of this, and it's supposed to bring that Metrovania exploration type experience. So I don't think that's a sort of really bad thing that a lot of people make it out to be. I think the 9 isn't a very interesting story. I just feel like it's kind of late to the party. This was something I was way more interested in 2019 and 2020 during Season of the Drifter and Forsaken. It only took them like 5 years to actually get around to doing it because the Witness and the Light and Dark saga was way more of a priority. But anyhow, I digress. But a lot of people have criticized that. People have criticized the day one raid experience. People have criticized how with the end game activities that you are paying for, that you can't actually play them once you finish the campaign because the difficulty for them is way too high and you're back at 0. So you have to go play the stuff on the portal and all those type of things. And people have criticized that like, oh my God, man, I don't even know how much people have criticized it. And then the people who love it are yelling at the people who criticized it. So there's so much drama with that. I have to say, looking at like the basic things, I don't just like the way it looks. If you like the way it looks, that's cool, but I don't. I like the sort of destination map because it was very cool in its aesthetic. It really brought out that Destiny vibe, that Destiny 1 vibe of logging in and looking at all the planets. Like, come on, why would people hate that? That looks so cool. But I don't like how they dimmed the light on that. That was a big L. Don't do that, Bungie. That's a bad thing. But anyhow, I just think a lot of people have criticized it because it does place limits. It does help you with your difficulty and with your experience because you get to change a lot of the aspects of the activity that you're going into. But it does change how much loot you're actually getting out of it. And that is a problem because people that I've seen criticize it for how much gear it's dropping, how much drops it's going to give you, and how much you can do it per week. And that's a problem. When I found out that trials, apparently you can only go flawless once per week now, once per character, that is a big L. I've seen people play trials from week to week going flawless multiple times. That was the big thing. But I'm hearing people can only go once per week. Let me know if that's true. If that's true, then Bungie is taking a huge L because they're putting limitations on how much loot you can actually get throughout the expansion. And holy crap, that's just not cool, man. Like, we should be playing the expansion the way we want to play, which is what they advertise. You should be able to play anything you want. If you want to grind through the Crucible and only through the Crucible, you can do that. But I've seen a lot of people criticize how there's limits and the activities that are only on the portal are the ones that matter in terms of dropping. And I've been hearing that dungeons and raids aren't on that yet, and they will be, but they aren't on it now. So any of those stuff won't get you the big gear or the new gear that you want. Same with tier 5 weapons and tier 5 other things. That also brings us to the grind, which in itself is definitely also a bit to criticize. I don't personally like doing this change. Again, I think it was needed in some way, but with this, there only is a couple criticisms I have. One being that you're going to be restarting all the way from 0, and 2, that it's going to get reset when Renegades happens. You will be back down, I believe, like 200 or something, and you have to regrind what you just did for the new expansion all over again. Now, I just like numbers going up. That's just a me thing. So when I heard about that, I was like, come on. This was the same other thing with Guardian ranks. I just hate how we're putting so much time and effort to our Guardian, and we want to show off to our friends or to our peers or to people on LFG, hey, I went through all of this, just for Bungie to come on out and say, hey, guess what? This is all going to be turned away when a new drop happens, so you have to restart from 0. There's some criticisms towards that. I've seen people praise it. I don't get it. I want to be able to show off that I'm Guardian rank 11, and I've been hearing that people are criticizing it because, you know, I want to be back at 2000 again. I get the power leveling grind, but come on. So I understand people talking about that aspect. There's a lot of things that I have seen from a lot of people, and obviously I've seen a lot of praises from this expansion. I'm not going to say no to it. The story looks cool. The aesthetic looks cool. The destination abilities do have its pros. The grind is now more simplified for players coming into the game who are very newer to the community. Again, there's a lot of things to think about going into this expansion and what we can get out of it. But Renegades definitely is an expansion that I feel needs to definitely transition and experiment even further and look at the feedback of what people did not like and what did like. If you like the portal, that's great. If you didn't, then let's get the destination tab back and working. There's nothing saying no to just having 2 different formats for the live service game. If I want to see Kepler on the destination map, You can just put it there. There's not going to be like cancer's going to happen just doing that. Just put it on the map. God damn it. Same thing here with other things. I feel like the limitations for how much drops you should get should be removed. The grind set should be definitely transitioned way more than it is now. It feels the exact same for the years, and I know that's beating a dead horse, but it does really feel the exact same. The replayability, which is also a big factor, as people who are playing the exotic missions from Revenant and Echoes constantly over and over again for one tier drop, for something like for the raid prep, just to be playing the exact same thing they did all last year. Like, come on, put some effort into the activities that we purchased, and if we're going to have to be playing it the majority of our time for the expansion, put some more love and care into it. I just feel like there's nothing going on there. And another criticism is I just don't understand why this expansion is priced at $40. I understand the year of Destiny needs to be going on because guess what? It's corporate, it's a business, it needs to make money, but again, I just don't see it really being worth $40 if this is what the base amount of content that we're getting going on for the future. And we haven't seen Renegades yet, we haven't seen what these minor updates will bring, so time will tell, but there's things to just look out for. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you're thinking of Destiny 2 Edge of Fate, and what your future plan is going into the next year of Destiny. I would love to hear about it, and let me know anything else I can do for you here on the channel. I'll see you guys next time.